Hi, once again we are back with Ek Bun Soch Ki Tea Talk Train of Thoughts. In each and every episodes we try and come with different stories. Stories shared by the experts from the industry from which we draw some learning. In our past episode we had covered these stories on the leadership, on the entrepreneurship and the young achievers. And today on this platform we'll be talking in terms of an sports management. On TikTok platform today we are having Mr. Shah. Sir, welcome to TikTok.
Thank you.
Mr. Shah is a co-founder of TSG. By profession, he is having a background of an IT as a marketing professional, and since having a passion and love for these sports, drove Mr. Shah to enter into the field of an sports. In the year 2002, TSG was founded by Mr. Shah, and it's basically India's first private grassroots firm which is there. And even Mr. Shah is a certified yoga teacher. He worked since 2002 to promote the sports and to promote the sportings communities and to develop the infra at the local grassroots level which is there. And under his leadership, TSG plant got selected amongst the top 40. They were in top 40 amongst the 16,000 plus businesses idea across India at the Economic Times Power of an India contest 2010. And this led to the training program which I think sir have conducted in IIM Ahmedabad also, and they got a grant from the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And I think we are fortunate to share with our audience that recently inducted Karamveer Global Fellowship Hall of Fame. I think he was honored with an Karamveer Chakra Bronze Medal in recognition of his services in the field of sports. Sir, welcome to T-Talk.
Thank you.
Channel. And in fact, we would like to know something like right from childhood, were you keen in sports or something your different goals as far as you are concerned in your career?
So yeah, thank you. That's an interesting question. So essentially, my background has been exposure to software and hardware in information technology. So you could call I was part of the .com burst in the year 2000. I've been a very avid sports lover all my life. Like many Indians, I can also say I could have thought that I should have been a cricketer sometime, but never had the platform. So sports has always been as part of me in terms of aspiration all my life. In around 2002, I was thinking of doing something post the .com burst worldwide, what I wanted to do in life. And I was sitting with my mentor, and my mentor asked me, what is that you can do 24/7? Out of nowhere, I told him sports. So, well, that's how just I thought of it and walked into the path. And today it's about 22 years that I've been exposed to the grassroots sports. So everything is history now, but it's been a very great journey. And yes, and that's how sports actually just came out of just few evenings of discussion and took all the efforts, and yes, here we are.
I think that's a passion and the love for the sports which drove to you to the field of as far as the sports which are concerned. Like how you've conceptualized the idea of an TSG, like, and how you formed this TSG in 2000.
Right. So essentially, TSG is the sports Gurukul. I started something with cricket, which is something I was passionate about, and I got very good response. And being me that I am, I usually like to implement a lot of ideas together. And I thought it's just not about cricket. It is something about, I never got an opportunity to do cricket, which was my passion. I think something needs to be done on multiple sports. And then I spoke to a few people. I got a small ground in a small school in a place called Santa Cruz in Mumbai. Again, like I said, I always am out to do something different. And I thought of creating an opportunity of whatever was available. Something which is where I thought, and I always thought in during those times, in India, if sports has to thrive, it is not just about money. It is going to be about ideas. You have to come up with creative ideas. And at that time, thinking of new idea, we came up with a tennis court, India's first tennis court on terrace. And I was very glad to tell you, I mean, it was very exciting that time. Hindustan Times covered us in an article in 2007, and they compared us with the one which is at Burj Khalifa, that tennis court on a helipad. So it was very exciting. Of course, we were way away from that professional setup, but it was exciting that something like this people spoke about, and that's how, you know, one after another, one idea led to another, and gradually we kept on developing one step at a time.
And I think you came in partnership with Mr. Paresh Kothari. Can you tell the audience, like, you know, how does that partnership work?
So this entire journey today, so I think for a very long time it was a one-man journey. 2010 is when the real ideas got to the next level, where we got selected, like you said, for the Power of Ideas contest, where our business idea got selected. At that time, Paresh was a friend of mine, and he's been an investment banker. And he helped me fine-tune ideas and everything. In the process, over the next 2 years, he got very excited too. So where he felt that there is something really big can be done, and really creating an impact at the grassroots level, India level. And that's how we joined hands in 2012. And I think then everything was history. I think all the big awards or whatever we did in terms of growing Sports Gurukul across India in 50 cities has been a wonderful joint journey together. So Paresh, from being a friend, from probably helping me how this can be, I think it's very important always having 2 or 3 co-founders who can complement each other, and I think I and Paresh fit completely well. And I think over the last 10 years, I think we built Sports Gurukul into an all India company.
Just going back for our audience, like, you know, many a times you come with a new innovative ideas. I'm sure, of course, down the line you face a lot of challenges. Let it be in terms of an infra, let it be in terms of an finance as such. Any kind of a challenges which you have come across while being part of a sports management?
So for I mean, any entrepreneurial journey is full of challenges. The time where I started, I think probably was the most challenging, because that sports was something we considered. Parents would think of going niche jaake khel lo. It's not something for which you pay money or you pay fees for getting yourself coached like you would do for any other thing. So I think the challenges were huge, I would say. I'm very happy to even share the way I started. I think I probably, I'll tell you a day of 2002 and 2004. I think right from designing my own flyers. So people think आज Photoshop, Microsoft Word में आप जो design कर सकते हो, शायद किसी में भी, and I think Microsoft Word was something I used to design my flyers. Then I got them printed because you have to be economically. तो I used to go to Andheri East, जहाँ पे जंबो जेरोक्स पे सस्ते में मिल जाए. फिर सुबह 4 बजे उठ के न्यूज़पेपर में फ्लायर डालने मैं जाता था. So because the point is, you needed to do marketing and you had very limited funds, so you can't depend on that. So I think this learning came to me because in my college years I worked with a social organization for which I did a lot of such work. So I think वहाँ का learning मैंने adapt किया. So I used to do that, and then I think पूरे दिन में telemarketing calls भी मैं ही करता था. So for me sports was so close कि उसके लिए मेरे academy में जाके झाड़ू भी लगाना पड़ता, तो I would do it because the point was it was a time where I wanted to make sure people came, and उसके लिए कुछ भी करना पड़ता. So whether it was creating a tennis court out of nowhere, whether it was creating a space, or whether it was designing and talking to people, somewhere I think my college years where I spent with a social organization, I think my life's learning are based on that, and I credit my entire life to that. I think all those learnings with people, ultimately this is all about people management, whether you are an entrepreneur or wherever you are. So I think all those things that I learned, or by self-learning, I implemented the self-learning again. And that's how I probably, every challenge that came my way, I was ready for it. And that's how probably one step at a time we grew and where we were today and where we are today.
Okay, I think many a times as a youngsters, you get confused, you get derailed at what to do in a career. Like since Mr. Shah has a passion towards the sports, I think he had made career as well as sports. But again, I think being an IT professional and with a commerce background, he had worked earlier in some of an organization, and then he started his own venture. You're also a certified yoga teacher, like. So how you're using yoga and the management combination?
So before the sports decision in 2000 to happen, in 2000 I had actually undergone a complete 1-year teachers training course for yoga teachers, a 1-year intensive course. So a lot of my teacher training skills came there. Okay. And I remember initially, even when although I am not someone who's been a professional coach myself, but we together have trained thousands of coaches, because the whole idea was not the sport, it is how to train. And I think that yoga learnings of how to train, how to prepare a lesson plan, a lot of these things which were at that time and for a very long time we've seen is missing with sports teachers. We brought that entire skill or a pedagogy, if we can use the term, of right kind of teaching and training, and which is what helped. So one, already being a yoga teacher or being a teacher myself helped me in this journey where we essentially had hundreds and hundreds of coaches, thousands of coaches over the last so many years working with us. So we help them have that right way of training, the right skill. They know their football, they know their basketball, but how to teach right, how to teach well, and that's where probably my teacher training skills helped in the journey.
I think Ek Boon Soch, the first seed was sown when Sir was part of an Economic Times Power of an India contest in 2010, and when you were appreciated being part of an first 40 among 16,000 plus business plan. What was your feeling at that point of time?
I think it was amazing. I think that was the first time where the feeling of recognition really came in at a large scale. And by far, imagine you are getting people look forward to get enrolled in IIM Ahmedabad. Here you have a invitation to stay in IIM Ahmedabad and get trained by their professors. So I think that was probably my life's greatest, I would not call achievement, but a feeling of satisfaction, and that led to a lot of things in terms of now. I mean, tab tak hai na, the entire sports entrepreneur journey was more of passion. It was not a business. It is very important that it took that business shape. So we always feel proud that we have a social subject which we've taken ahead and created a widespread message where we are making people fit, and in the process it's a business. So it's not trying to have a business idea out of profit. Profit would probably be the byproduct, but thousands of lives, lakhs of children's life and careers are being made, and that entire shape, that seed happened when that getting selected at this national level foundation happened. So such foundations are very important, where you get recognized because they give you the spark to take things further. So maybe at that time we were just in Mumbai running a small setup, but from there till today we have trained more than 5,000 coaches, trained more than 5 lakh children. So from probably a few hundreds to lakhs to becoming 50 city operation. So a lot of those happened because of that one recognition of what we were doing till then.
So Ek Boon Soch ki, which came out of passion and out of love for the sports, which I think Mr. Shah was enjoying in his entire tenure which is there. But again, when we talk in terms of somewhere where you are being recognized, in that recognition brings a more spark in you to go to the next level. And sir, also when we talk in terms of an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is not only about passion and the love in that particular area, but also there has to be some revenue model. And in the entire process, I think when you got a grant from Department of Science and Technology from Government of India, so then again, what was your feeling of having a grant and relevant to sports?
No, it is really fantastic. I think such initiatives are wonderful because one, apart from giving you recognition, apart from giving you the right training to how do you move forward, because the 10 days of IIM Ahmedabad were wonderful grilling sessions where right from creating a business plan, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Of course, 10 days is not a very big time, but it opened up the entire horizon. And with that, getting a 5 lakh grant actually is like ice, maybe cherry on the cake, if you were to say that. That kind of amount at that time of the start journey where we are today was very, very exciting. It was a very big reward in terms of using that money back in redeveloping what your ideas are getting validated. You've got validity from all aspects, just not one. So naturally 5 lakh grant at that time coming from Government of India was the cherry on the cake.
Okay. And then further, I think you went ahead with, you got an honor in terms of an Karamveer Chakra bronze medal for the services which you have rendered in sports. So then again, a warm feeling of somebody being recognized your contribution towards in sports.
Absolutely, absolutely. Given it's almost now 20 years to grassroots sports, and I could have never thought in my life that something that I was so passionate about, I couldn't really go into sports, but my life turned towards my passion became my profession. And of course it was very interesting that again getting recognized, so that's the whole journey. As an entrepreneur, you keep doing what you're doing. You don't do it with any expectation for any medal, because of course you're not playing sports, so there is no medal there. But in the process of lakhs of children and thousands of children who have gone to state and national level in our program, somewhere receiving a medal for myself also has been very interesting. And certainly I would always want to credit a partner who's there with me, who's always been there with us. So it's always teamwork. It's not you alone. You never do this. There were so many team members, all those people together, and of course ultimately it's a team victory.
I think somewhere down the line, your passion towards the sports and where you are today, like, you know, many a times we think like only if you play these sports you can make a career into the sports as such. But for sports, if you look from the wider angle, like, you know, since you have never played in sports, like, but you had made this as your profession, so most of the youngsters, like, normally who would like to make their career in sports, I think should also think in terms of, you've got a passion towards certain thing, how the scalability should be there. So now, in fact, you started in 2002 from a small space, and then gradually you have grown. Can you please tell us how in a phased manner you have grown and you have expanded to 50 cities, which I think from 2002 till now, I think it's really amazing journey, like.
Sure.
So can you share with the audience how you have expanded step by step?
Sure. So in fact, what's very interesting is when you are scaling a business, it's usually not you are doing baby steps and suddenly then you skyrocket. So I think, like I said, 2002 to 2010 or even 2012, it was something which was simply passion, which was leading one step to another. You're doing various activity, promoting sports. But when that entire thing took a shape of a planned business plan, where what exactly, so we are doing everything now, probably one thing, one direction which can actually create a big impact, and which is where the whole idea was working with schools. Schools are running programs, they are academically focused, but they're not able to get the best out of the physical education program in their school. So creating value there, where so many children get impacted, was something that really was a path-breaking idea that we got. In the process, we got an investment coming in, we got someone to support us, and when that happened, when that correct idea, so many mistakes that you have, so you come up to the right idea after so many trials and errors. Without that, things never happen. So you always have to go there and give it a shot. So we did that, we built that experience, Paresh joined hands, we had an investor, and then 2012 we had the complete game plan right. So then we skyrocketed our growth from 2012 to 2017-18 at 100% year on year. So we grew exponentially. So probably for the first 10-12 years it was just something passion, but once you got the right idea, the right team and the right funds.
So 10 years I think of your journey from 2002 to 2012, like, you know, you were on the learning path, making a lot of errors and learning how to scale up the business. So hereby, if you are an entrepreneur, you need to take a risk, you need to ensure the patience level needs to be there, like, you know, otherwise it's very difficult to sustain. Sir, if we look in terms of the entrepreneur, the first thing which I think normally most of the B schools, they will say have a plan on the paper, like as we talk in terms of an architect, if he is coming up with a structure, like, you know, he'll make a plan on the paper that what plinth needs to have and how you need to go ahead with the structure. So when you started this entrepreneurship drive, so what was the plan you had on the paper, like saying that this is 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line that you will take TSG to this level?
So one is, I never had a plan.
You never had a plan.
For a very long time, it was passion, learning from the field, and building up on the learning. And like I said, the first time I really got learning was at IIM Ahmedabad, where these kind of subjects matter came in my life. So not necessary, but of course they're very important today. And if you want to build a business with scale, I would say today with every college talking entrepreneurship, teaching what is the right way to go about it. So I think a lot of these basic learnings, right from preparing a plan, having a test model. So all these are subjects which are very easily taught and understood because startup culture is taking shape, entrepreneurship is being promoted in the country. I don't think that was the case earlier, but now suddenly the future is all about that. So I think it's a good time to become an entrepreneur. It's a good time to have a startup, and I think you have the resources across everywhere around you where you will get the right training and learning to build upon. So it's not something where you just start off blind. You of course need planning. You certainly make certain trials. You go to the market, test your product. I mean, this is something which is very important for any great idea to become a successful big business plan. And I think that's the right way to go about it, and people should be able to make the best of what's available in around them.
And if we see the success story of TSG also, like earlier many of the entrepreneurs who were there, they have used their common sense, they understood market trends about, and based on that they have taken their own decision. When we talk in terms of an entrepreneurship, it's a decision making process is much important, and behind the decision there needs to be a passion. So always the great learning goes like once you experience the failure and you don't repeat that mistakes again, and you go to the next level. And rightly in case of TSG, Mr. Shah, like they have gone through the learning curve from 2002 to 2012, and then actually the structure plan came into the picture, and now that's how they have expanded to 50 cities. So it's a real great, I think, journey which is there. India today, like we talk in terms of an startup which is there, like see basically gray area which is there, we talk in terms of an unemployability factor. And the initiative which you have taken, like making sports your passion, so this have given a lot of an employment to many of them. What are the resources which are working in your overall organization spread over 50 cities?
So we're a team of almost we were 450 employees pre-COVID. Because post-COVID, a lot of team is not active because schools are yet to start and take shape. So like any other company, we have a corporate structure where we are two founders who have various divisions taken care of by them, and under that there is middle management, lower management, and then they're the team. So we certainly have a complete hierarchy in the organization, like any large organization will require to be had. And we have the systems and processes to run the programs.
And personally, I think I was also part of one of your training session of TSG, like where you have done for an HR professional, and it was done in a very systematic way. A lot of sports which were there. Like now, before COVID-19, like things were very good. It was rosy and scalability was there. But post COVID-19 or during COVID-19, like last couple of years, what was your experience in that, like as well as sports which is concerned?
So I think one of the most impacted field was our field, because sports is yet not even an industry. In a country like ours, I mean, of course, whatever recent success, and I think Olympic is really built up, the government is serious about it. So we are seeing development coming year on every 4 years where India participates, but it's still going to take a while. Because overall it still needs to become an industry, it still needs to become a culture, and that's what we've been working as the Sports Gurukul. So the whole idea is in creating the ecosystem, and in the process some will take sports, some will take careers, some will work in sports, some will be employed in sports, but it's the fan creation process. It's people who love various kind of sports, and which is what it would be, and that got very badly hit during this entire period. So thankfully we have certain projects which keeps us going, else it could have been detrimental also, because I mean COVID-19 has impacted everyone differently and based on the but yes, our field or our industry is probably the most impacted, and probably it's also still the field which is the future of India. So grassroots sports and the complete sports ecosystem, people thinking of being part of it, I think shouldn't be disappointed. Next 20-25 years is the way forward for India. It's going to be the entire sports industry, which is various levels, whether it's coaching, which is event management, whether it's going to be behind the scenes, front of the scenes, but sports as an industry post-COVID is still the future for India.
Okay, I think it's very interesting. But if we'll see, India is having a population of 1.35 billion, and when we talk in terms of sports, hardly we'll see like overall for last 29 Olympics what we had. If you put together and see, hardly you might have got 35 medals in all the 29 Olympics. But recently, often what we have seen, the government which is taking an initiative to promote these sports in a big way. And recently, if you will see Tokyo Olympic, which was concluded recently, where India have won 7 medals. From that, one was a gold medal, I think, which came after 13 years of a gap. And if you see the other countries like USA, China, they have got on about 38, 39 gold medal, followed by the other countries like Great Britain and all. But still, nevertheless, in this Tokyo Olympic, where we got, I think we were in first 40 as far as the medal tally. So there's some ray of an hope. Yes, you can do.
So one is, I usually being in this ecosystem and more at the grassroots. So we don't deal with the top elite sportsmen who work at the Olympics. But of course, it's part of the entire ecosystem and people normally ask questions. So probably personally, I think things are moving there. There is a lot of things happening by any of these countries, and they are 30-40 years of seeds sown, and which is into that entire ecosystem. The people at the top happen because there is an ecosystem. What is good news is the country, the current government, and overall India is moving towards trying to achieve excellence in that. And I think the necessary step, whether it's Olympic task force, all the right people are getting together and trying to get this. So it's only time when India gets into recognition being one of the top nations in overall sports, and probably 2 or 3 more Olympics down the line, you should be able to see that. So I think overall things are going towards that. It's positive for the country, and given the work that we are doing of creating that entire fan base and at the grassroots level, I think, and that is why consciously we have maintained our focus there, that overall the more people are connected with sports at early childhood, one from a fitness point of view, forget career, more from a staying fit, having great friendships are built over sports. So if people stay in sports in an early age, which is where we are focusing, then you will probably use sports as a tool to be fit for life. And once you're doing that, you will have a very large ecosystem which understands sports, which supports sports. Everybody starts working towards it, and overall the result will start showing.
That's a base foundation which are built, Mr. Shah. They are the one, I think they have got the career of the youth in their hand. This is a time and a place where you can nurture the young talent and pass it on to the next level so that they can go and win the medal for India. Since we talk in terms of an grassroots level, if we'll see as far as India, if we talk in terms of an parents, they would like to have an Olympiad in maths and science. They want their child to be a doctor, they want their child to be an engineer, but no one says like we would like to have an Olympiad in sports.
So good news for you, that is changing across the country. I think parents have realized India is becoming a very big capital of childhood obesity. Our eating habits in trying to be Western is creating deadly impact on the way the children of today are growing. I remember I was always a lean, thin, lakdi bolte hai na. So but today's children are obese, they are overweight, and so childhood obesity is now becoming a very serious concern overall. So I would still say my entrepreneurial journey is about making people fit, having a lifestyle of staying fit, and not really creating an Olympic champion. That will be the byproduct. Somebody will love the sport so passionately, he or she will then go and excel. That's going to be a process of somebody loving that sport and taking. The more people are there, part of the entire ecosystem, automatically the Olympic result will also take its shape. So that something will happen when it needs to happen. But today's parent is now realizing. In fact, a lot of parents have started playing active sports. This entire thing about staying fit, healthy, playing sport is already taken very strong seeds across, and I think in the coming years that's good news for the country.
And one more thing, like so for management students, there are the various area: marketing, finance, HR, operations, so on and so forth. But somebody would like to make a career in sports. Can you throw some light that how one can make a career as well as sports, and what are the role, like where gradually one can grow and go higher up in the ladder in sports?
Sure. So one, again, interestingly, today I would say careers in sports are viable. When I say viable, just not being a sportsman, but people can start aspiring to be a sportsman. In the process, there are management institutes which offer sports management courses. So there's a wide array. I mean, everything you can see on the sports. Let's take a cricket match you are talking. There is a venue, there is a venue management. There is a player, there is a player management. There is pre-event ticket sales. There is something. There is artist management. There is marketing involved. There is so many. So that's over there. Let's take a coaching academy. Talking about again managing an academy, being a coach. If you love the sport, get yourself trained to become a coach. You can become an administrator. Again, marketing. A lot of people are doing digital marketing today. Use it for sports. So there are, I mean, I'm sure that there are, I mean, these are some 7-8 careers I spoke, but there are 20, 30, 40 careers, spaces. And like I said, with India poised to be recognized, or the government getting into creating a structure around calling it an industry, I think overall jobs will come from this sector. So there are very viable possibilities and careers that people can have. The easiest way is start internships. So do internships, do 3 months, 6 months learning a sports academy, go for an IPL. So you can then build up and understand what you are good at, and then probably select a career, get some training in that, and then build yourself into that. So I'm saying internships are very popular. They're very smart ways of trying to learn some field in some sports or other, and then gradually, once you know that I am good at this, probably get a course for that, or go and actually take up a job, build your learning, excel, and then you have a career for yourself.
I think all the management students out over there, like if they're listening to Mr. Jai, how one can make an career as, and what are the area like where they can grow as far as sports is concerned. Like sir, it was a wonderful experience and the journey what you have shared with us about an entrepreneurship drive, as your passion and the love for the sports have drove you to the field of an sports management, and the way you have grown in the entire entrepreneurship drive which is there, and that's where we talk in terms of ek boond soch ki can transform the society at large. Thanks a lot for coming on this T-Talk platform and sharing your views with the audience. And I would like to tell audience, like if you like Mr. Jai Shah's journey, entrepreneurship journey as far as sports management which is concerned, please go and subscribe and like the channel. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Mr. Jai, for being part of this conversation.
Thank you for having me.